Welcome. My name is Matthias Walle and I'm a PhD student at ETH in Zurich, Switzerland, and I research bone and diabetes. And today I'm here at ECTS 2022 as a guest editor for HubLE, and I'm interviewing Shauni Loopmans, who's investigating growth plate metabolism. And yeah, maybe you can introduce yourself and say a couple of words what you're presenting here at ECTS.
So I'm a PhD student in the lab of clinical and experimental endocrinology in Leuven University, Belgium. So I work in the lab of Professor Leeds, and we mainly focus on metabolism in different bone cells. And so my project mainly focuses on metabolism in the developing growth plate. And what I'm presenting here today will focus primarily on glucose metabolism, to be exact.
That sounds great. Could you maybe outline a little bit the main findings of your study?
Yes, okay. Most people that know about chondrocytes and about metabolism, they think the main pathway that glucose is actually used through in the cell is glycolysis. But it's actually very interesting because when glucose enters the cell, it can go into a variety of pathways. And so what I actually show in my research is that one of those pathways, the pentose phosphate pathway, is crucial for growth plate development. And so it's not only glycolysis.
That's interesting. Could you maybe, for anyone who's not so familiar with growth plate metabolism in general, explain what the big picture of this kind of like field of research, or especially like your project now, is in the future?
So what makes the growth plate so interesting is that it's completely avascular. So all the nutrients and the oxygen, it has to come from the surrounding blood vessels. And so our lab thinks that the metabolic profile of these cells is adapted in such a way that they can survive in the avascular conditions. But it's also very interesting since during fracture healing you also first have a cartilage template which resembles endochondral ossification in the developmental processes. So we think that understanding the metabolism in the growth plate can provide some applications for metabolic based interventions in fracture healing and maybe even other metabolic bone diseases.
Okay, yeah, wow, that sounds really interesting and really worth researching. So finally, my last question would be, now after ECTS, what are your future plans, or where do you want to go in your career?
Yes, so I'm currently in my last year as a PhD student, so I hope to publish my research and defend my PhD, of course, but I'm very motivated to stay in academia, so I'm looking for exciting postdoc opportunities.
Yeah, I bet you're here at the right place at ECTS.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, I wish you the best of luck with that, and thank you very much for the interview.
Okay, thank you.
And yeah.